One of the things I think we see with people that are using AreaPro is the ability to have that market education conversation in every aspect or every spectrum of that buyer's consultation. Like you said, the ideal is to sit in the office, walk through, slow down the process. But sometimes you are standing on the doorstep.
Yep.
And sometimes you're pulling out your phone and you're pulling up AreaPro and you're saying, okay, before we go walk into this house and maybe the next 5 that you want to see, let's have a real serious conversation about what the market looks like and what your needs are so that we
Yeah.
can match you with the right market instead of running all over town looking at every home that, had a pink door that you might love or something like that.
Absolutely. We learn quickly in real estate that if we can get out in front of things and stop the surprises, then we can make the experience way better for that client. Because, and here's a classic example of that. You forget this process. You meet a buyer, maybe you knew them, you start showing them homes, they fall in love with one, and then they sit down to write the offer and they're saying, well, we're thinking about, 375. What do you think? And they're asking 440. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I haven't even gone through what's happening in our market with these people. And now all of a sudden you've got high emotion, lots of excitement about the house. And they think for some reason, probably because of crazy Uncle Eddie, that 375 is a decent offer on 440. And because of AreaPro, that's going to get you laughed out of town as an agent and for them as the buyers. And it's going to be counterproductive in that scenario because there's only 2 months supply of inventory. Average days on market in the market is 7, and houses are selling for an average of 102.3% of ask price. And you know all that, and you've known it all along, but you didn't take the time to sit down and tell them up front before they ever fell in love with a house. And so, we find ourselves in that situation, and it's just a reminder, we can remove a lot of that. Because then what happens, John, if you sit down and say, we want to offer 375, and now I take the time, like, okay, hold on. And then I would start walking you through why that's not a great offer and it's not going to get us very far. Now it kind of feels like it's adversarial.
There's a little bit of
Now
contention.
we're
You're
on
almost
other sides
against
of the
them.
table with our
Yeah.
clients. Instead of sitting side by side like us, and it's us and them, it's now we're on the opposite sides, and I'm trying to convince you to write a realistic offer. You're trying to convince me to work for you and go get it done. And it's a bad situation at that point. And I seem like I'm just trying to get you to write a deal that's going to get me a fast closing and a fast commission.
Yeah.
And so, but when there's no house in mind, then I can educate you on the market. And now you go in with eyes wide open, realistic expectations, and a much better experience for you.
It really reminds me of one of the things that Mike Hicks says all the time, and that is it's not so much what you tell them, it's when you tell them.
Yeah, it's far more important than timing.
Get that market conversation in front of that emotional decision to go ahead and write an offer, to go look at the next 2 or 3 houses. Get that market conversation out in front and take that emotion out of it so that they can make educated decisions. It really helps with a lot of this hesitation, a lot of the uncertainty about what's going on in the market and what they've heard and not heard.
Yeah.
And when you walk up with as a professional with this set of data, not only for the area but drilled into their specific neighborhood in some cases, you're just assisting this buyer so that they have the best possible experience.
AreaPro can be part of the journey from start to finish. So let's say we did it properly and we sat down early on and had the market conversation, and now we sit down and we write an offer. And maybe the flip side, maybe this house is listed at 440. There's 9 months of inventory in the market. The house has been on the market 120 days, and they haven't dropped the price yet. And your client's asking you, like, what do you think is a reasonable offer? Should we offer them 435 or 440 because we don't want to lose the house? You can sit with them, and maybe the market is suggesting that we can be a little more aggressive than they think, and I can coach them. Maybe we can save you some money here. And I look like a hero in that scenario. And then here's what's super cool. Let's write that offer at 425 or 420. And now let's jump into AreaPro AI and ask AreaPro AI to construct an email for the listing agent that's going to accompany this offer, that's very respectful to the agent. AreaPro AI, write me an email that I can present with this offer at 420 on a listing that's given the facts. AreaPro AI understands all of the data inside AreaPro. It understands that specific market that this house is sitting in, and now it crafts an email that I can use to send to the cooperating agent to help them understand why we're offering what we're offering. And it takes me 30 seconds versus 15 minutes. So there's a little tidbit. A lot of fear in buyers, and AreaPro can help alleviate that fear it gives agents the confidence. It allows us to be an expert, to coach our clients properly. So you got to take a look at AreaPro.